One decision, one day. That's all it takes to rewrite your story. Everything can change the moment you decide it's time to change. Don't underestimate the power of a single day. It could be the turning point of your life. In one day, you can shift your mindset and unlock a new world of possibilities. Have you ever felt stuck, like nothing in your life is moving forward? What if I told you that one single day could change everything for you? Yes, just one day. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing you have the power to turn your whole life around. This isn't about waiting for the right moment or hoping for a miracle. It's about realizing that the choices you make today can shape the future you dream of. Whether it's your mindset, your habits, or the way you see yourself. It all starts with one decision, one moment, one day. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to take control and start living the life you truly want. Stay with me, because today could be the day that changes everything. Now let's dive in. Number 1. Decide what you really want and take action today. One of the most powerful decisions you can make is to stop waiting. Stop telling yourself that tomorrow is the day or that next week will be better. Today is the only day that matters. The future isn't a magical place that will magically appear for you. It's something you create, one decision at a time. If you wait for the perfect moment or the right circumstances, you might be waiting forever. The truth is, the perfect time never comes. You have to decide to take action, and you have to decide to do it now. Making a decision is one of the most important steps in the process. It's not just about dreaming or wishing for a better life. It's about deciding what you want and committing to it. The act of deciding is what sets everything in motion. Once you've made the decision, the universe, life, or whatever you want to call it, will start to align with that decision. It's not about waiting for everything to fall into place. It's about making that decision and letting everything else follow. When you decide what you really want, you give yourself clarity. Clarity allows you to focus on what matters and let go of the distractions. It's like setting a target. Without a target, you're just shooting arrows into the dark, hoping to hit something. But when you have a clear target, you can focus your energy and your efforts on hitting that bullseye. You can stop wasting time on things that don't serve you and start dedicating your time and energy to what truly matters. However, making the decision is only the beginning. It's what comes next that really matters. Taking action. Without action, your decision is just a wish. It's not enough to simply decide what you want. You have to do something about it. This is where most people fall short. They get excited about the idea of change. They make the decision, but then they sit back and wait. They wait for the right time, for the perfect opportunity, or for someone to tell them what to do next. But you can't afford to wait. You have to take action today. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the thing that moves you forward. When you take action, you begin to build momentum. Even if the action is small, it's better than doing nothing at all. Every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. And as you continue to take action, you begin to build confidence. You start to realize that you're capable of more than you thought, and that feeling propels you to take even more action. The fear of taking action often holds people back. They worry about failing, about making mistakes, or about what other people will think. But here's the thing, you're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. But that's part of the process. It's not failure that defines you. It's what you do with it. When you decide to take action and move forward despite the fear, you show yourself that you're strong enough to handle whatever comes your way. The more you take action, the less fear has power over you. People often get overwhelmed by the big picture. They see their goal and it feels so far away that they don't know where to start. But the secret is to break it down. Take it one step at a time. Focus on what you can do today, and worry about tomorrow when it comes. Small actions add up over time. 1 hour of focused work today is better than putting off everything until tomorrow. When you start making progress, you'll start to see how much you can achieve, and that will keep you going. Another important part of taking action is being consistent. One action today isn't enough if you don't keep going. Success comes from the daily habits and the continuous effort you put in. You don't need to make huge changes all at once. What matters is that you show up every day, that you stay committed to your decision, and that you keep moving forward no matter how small the steps may seem. Consistency is the key that unlocks your progress. If you want to change your life, it starts with one decision. Decide what you really want. Once you've made that decision, you can't sit back and wait for things to happen. you have to take action today. There is no perfect time. The time is now. You don't need to have everything figured out. All you need is the willingness to take that first step. Once you begin, you'll gain the clarity, the confidence, and the momentum you need to keep going. Number 2, stay consistent and finish every task. In life, consistency is everything. It's the difference between those who make progress and those who stay stuck. You can have all the talent, intelligence, and potential in the world, but without consistency, none of it matters. That's why it's not enough to start a task or set a goal. The real measure of success is finishing what you start and staying consistent in the process. When you're consistent, you don't leave things hanging, you don't let distractions derail you, and you don't quit when the going gets tough. Consistency means showing up day after day with the same energy and focus, even when the initial excitement fades away. It's the daily commitment to doing what needs to be done, no matter how big or small the task may seem. But let's be honest, staying consistent isn't easy. It's not about getting fired up for a week and then burning out. It's about understanding that success is built in small, everyday actions. It's about building habits that support your goals. The great ones aren't the ones who have big bursts of energy. They are the ones who keep pushing even when it feels like nothing is happening. They know that each day counts. To stay consistent, you first have to be clear about your priorities. You need to know what tasks are worth your time and energy. Not everything deserves your focus. Some tasks will move you closer to your goals, while others will only take you further from them. Stay focused on what truly matters. Take a moment to think about the tasks in your day. Which ones push you toward the life you want to create? Those are the ones you need to be consistent with. Everything else can wait. When you're consistent, you also build trust with yourself. Every time you finish a task, you prove to yourself that you are capable. You build momentum, and with momentum comes progress. It's like a snowball effect. The more you do, the more you can do. And soon, the tasks that once felt daunting become second nature. But let's be clear, staying consistent doesn't mean working without breaks. Consistency isn't about pushing yourself to the point of burnout. It's about pacing yourself, setting realistic expectations, and creating a routine that works for you. It's about showing up every day. Not all day, but enough to keep moving forward. There will be days when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. You might hit a wall, you might feel exhausted, or you might question if it's worth it. On those days, consistency is what will carry you through. It's what will remind you that small steps lead to big changes. You don't need to see the entire staircase. Just take the next step. Another crucial part of consistency is finishing what you start. Too many people start projects or set goals only to let them fade into the background. They lose interest, they get distracted, or they convince themselves that it's too late to finish. But finishing is where the real power lies. Completing a task brings a sense of accomplishment that fuels your motivation. It's like crossing the finish line of a race. You don't stop halfway through. When you finish something, you not only gain confidence, but you also prove to yourself that you have the discipline to see things through. Now, there's a common misconception about consistency that I want to address. Some people think that being consistent means never taking a break or never failing. That's not true. In fact, breaks and setbacks are part of the process. The key is to keep going. No matter what happens, if you take a break, take it, but then get back on track. If you face a setback, learn from it and keep moving forward. The most successful people aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who get back up every time they do. And this brings us to an important point. Don't let perfectionism hold you back. Some people get stuck because they believe that everything has to be perfect. They get caught up in the details, worrying about making the wrong decision or taking the wrong step. The truth is, progress is more important than perfection. Consistency means making progress every day, even if it's not perfect. When you finish a task, don't focus on whether it's perfect or whether it met your exact expectations. Focus on the fact that you followed through. That's what counts. The more you finish, the more confident you become. And confidence, as you know, is a key ingredient for success. To stay consistent, create a routine that supports your goals. A routine gives you structure, and structure gives you the ability to make progress, even when you don't feel motivated. When you have a set plan, you don't have to rely on motivation alone. You simply follow the routine, and over time it becomes second nature. Number 3, Focus only on what improves you. In life, you are the most important project you'll ever work on. But the challenge for many people is that they get distracted by everything that isn't serving them, everything that doesn't contribute to their growth or progress. You can't afford to waste your time and energy on things that don't improve you. The more you focus on what elevates you, the more you'll achieve, and the more fulfilled you'll become. To make real progress, you have to be intentional about where you put your focus. Every moment you spend on something that doesn't contribute to your growth is a moment you'll never get back. Time is your most valuable resource, and once it's gone, you can't get it back. Ask yourself, is this action, this thought, this conversation moving me closer to who I want to be? If the answer is no, it's time to let it go. Focus is power. The more you focus on what truly matters, the more you'll see results. The key is to keep your attention fixed on the things that push you forward, the things that make you better, the things that allow you to improve. When you focus on what improves you, everything else fades into the background. People may try to pull you in different directions, and the world is full of distractions. But if you stay focused on your own growth, you can block out the noise. Think about what truly moves you forward. It's your health, your learning, your mindset, and your personal development. If you're focusing on improving your skills, your knowledge, and your emotional resilience, that's what will elevate you to the next level. Your health is the foundation for everything else. When you're physically well, you have more energy. You think clearer and you're able to perform at a higher level. If you're not taking care of your body, then no matter how many goals you set or how hard you work, you won't be able to show up as your best self. Make time every day to move your body. Eat well and rest. If you want to improve, this has to be a priority. Don't let temporary comfort distract you from long-term well-being. Your health is an investment in your future, and without it, all the success you achieve won't matter. Next, focus on learning and growth. It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is that you're continually growing. Read, study, learn from the people who've walked the path before you. Knowledge is one of the most powerful tools you have, and it's something you can always invest in. Every book you read, every podcast you listen to, and every course you take is a building block in your personal growth. No one can take away your knowledge, and it's what allows you to think bigger and see opportunities that others miss. It's not enough to just consume information, though. You have to take what you learn and put it into action. Implement what you've learned, because knowledge without action is wasted potential. Focus on learning things that stretch you and challenge your current way of thinking. Another critical area to focus on is your mindset. How you think shapes your life. If you constantly tell yourself that you can't, you won't. If you tell yourself that you're not capable, you're right. But if you believe that you can grow, that you can improve, and that you can achieve your goals, then you'll start seeing the results of that belief in your actions. Take control of your thoughts. Choose to believe in your potential and remind yourself that your journey is a process. Yes, there will be challenges, and there will be setbacks, but none of that should make you doubt your ability to improve. Finally, focus on what moves you closer to your goals. Be clear about where you're going, and make every decision based on whether it will help you get there. If something doesn't help you grow, let it go. If a habit, a person, or an activity is holding you back, it's time to move on. The things that improve you should be non-negotiable. Your focus should be on things that help you build the life you want to create. Every decision you make should be rooted in your goals and your vision for the future. Stay away from things that drain your energy, that distract you, or that pull you away from your purpose. Protect your time and your focus. Remember, the more you focus on what improves you, the more success, happiness, and fulfillment you will experience. Here's the truth. The world will try to pull you in 1,000 different directions. There will always be distractions, temptations, and things that demand your attention. But you have the power to choose where to direct your focus. By focusing on what improves you, you are choosing the path of progress. You are choosing growth over stagnation, action over procrastination, and improvement over complacency. Number 4, prove to yourself you can change. The most powerful form of belief comes from within. It doesn't matter how much others believe in you or how much they encourage you. If you don't believe in your ability to change, none of that matters. True transformation happens when you prove to yourself that change is not only possible, it's within your control. The moment you show yourself that you are capable of change, you unlock a power that can drive you to accomplish things you never thought possible. The truth is, change isn't just about making big, dramatic shifts. It's about demonstrating to yourself day in and day out that you can make progress. The most important challenge you will face in your life is proving to yourself that you are capable of change. Once you can do that, there's no limit to what you can achieve. The first step in proving to yourself that you can change is starting. You have to take the first step. It might be small, but it's essential. The moment you take that action, you start building evidence that you can do what you set out to do. It doesn't matter if it's a small habit change, a new goal, or a new direction you want to pursue. The key is to start. Once you start, you have to commit to seeing it through. It's easy to begin something, but it's the follow-through that really tests your belief in yourself. When you continue, even when it gets tough, you show yourself that you're serious about the change you want to make. You're not just talking about change, you're actively working toward it. And here's the most important part. It's not about doing everything perfectly. You don't have to have it all figured out. In fact, the road to change is full of mistakes, missteps, and moments when you feel like quitting. But the key is not letting those moments define you. Each time you fail or encounter a setback, you're proving that you're willing to keep going. When you experience failure, don't view it as a sign that change isn't possible. View it as evidence that you're on the right track. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the process. Every time you pick yourself back up after a failure, you're strengthening your belief in your ability to change. One of the best ways to prove to yourself that you can change is to track your progress. There's something incredibly powerful about seeing where you started and how far you've come. It doesn't matter if it's a fitness goal, a career goal, or a personal development goal. When you track your progress, you reinforce the idea that change is happening. You're moving forward, even when it feels like things are moving slowly. This also means celebrating the small wins. Every time you complete a task, every time you make progress, take a moment to appreciate what you've done. These small victories are proof that you're capable of making change. And when you celebrate them, you build momentum, which makes it easier to keep going. Another important aspect of proving you can change is stepping outside of your comfort zone. Change doesn't happen inside the bubble of familiarity. If you want to prove to yourself that you can change, you have to challenge yourself to do things that feel uncomfortable, things that push you beyond your current limits. Every time you push through your fears and take on something new, you expand your capacity for growth. It might be uncomfortable at first, but with every step you prove to yourself that you're capable of handling more than you thought. And as you keep stretching your comfort zone, you realize that what once seemed impossible is now within your reach. Don't wait for the perfect moment to change. If you keep waiting for everything to be just right, you'll never start. Change happens when you decide that now is the time. You don't need to wait for motivation or inspiration. You just need to start and trust that the rest will follow. As you go through this process of proving to yourself that change is possible, remember that you are your greatest ally. Stop relying on external validation or waiting for someone to tell you that you can do it. The only approval you need is your own. You have everything inside you to create the change you desire. Understand this: when you prove to yourself that you can change, you break free from the limitations you once placed on yourself. You stop believing the lies that say you're stuck or that you can't be different. You realize that change is a choice you make, and the more you choose it, the more powerful and unstoppable you become. Keep in mind that real change is not instant. It's a series of small decisions that add up over time. But as you make those decisions, you are proving to yourself that you have the discipline, the resilience, and the vision to create a life that reflects your true potential. Number 5. Master yourself and dominate your future. The most important battle you will ever fight is the one within yourself. Mastering yourself isn't just about gaining control over your actions. It's about mastering your thoughts, emotions, and habits. When you achieve mastery over yourself, you unlock the power to dominate your future. This isn't just a motivational phrase. It's the truth. You can shape your destiny by taking charge of the one thing you have the most influence over: yourself. Self-mastery is the foundation upon which everything else in your life is built. If you cannot control your impulses, manage your time effectively, or make decisions aligned with your goals, you are at the mercy of your circumstances. However, when you master yourself, you take back control and shape your path. Think about it for a moment. Your future is shaped by the decisions you make today. Every choice you make, whether big or small, sets the direction for your life. But to make the right decisions, you first need to have control over your mind. You need to understand that self-mastery begins with discipline. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Discipline is what enables you to take consistent, focused action. It's the ability to say no to things that distract you and yes to things that will move you forward. The more disciplined you are, the more you will achieve. Because discipline gives you the structure you need to keep pushing forward, no matter the challenges. One of the first areas of self-mastery you need to work on is your mindset. Your thoughts create your reality. If your mind is filled with negative thoughts, doubts, and fears, your actions will follow suit. But when you fill your mind with positive, empowering thoughts, you will begin to take actions that reflect your true potential. This doesn't mean pretending to be happy or ignoring difficulties. It means choosing to focus on what you can control and taking responsibility for how you think. Mastering your mind means recognizing that you have the power to direct your thoughts. When negative thoughts arise, you can choose to replace them with thoughts that serve you. When doubt creeps in, you can replace it with confidence. This doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent practice, you'll begin to notice a shift in the way you think and the way you approach challenges. Another critical area of self-mastery is managing your emotions. Your emotions are powerful, and they can either work for you or against you. When you allow your emotions to control you, you react impulsively, and you make decisions based on temporary feelings rather than long-term goals. But when you master your emotions, you can choose how you respond to situations. Instead of reacting to stress, anger, or frustration, you can respond with calmness and clarity. This is not about suppressing your emotions. It's about understanding them and choosing the most empowering response. Mastering your emotions means taking a step back before reacting, gaining perspective and choosing a response that aligns with your values and goals. Another aspect of mastering yourself is managing your time. Time is the one resource you can never get back, and it's the most valuable tool you have for shaping your future. If you allow distractions, procrastination, or lack of planning to steal your time, you'll find yourself drifting through life, never reaching your full potential. But when you take control of your time, you take control of your future. Create daily routines that reflect your values and priorities. Focus on tasks that move you toward your goals, and eliminate the things that don't contribute to your success. Time management is about making intentional choices about how you spend your time. Mastering your time is one of the most powerful ways you can dominate your future. The next step in mastering yourself is developing habits that support your success. The habits you form today will shape the person you become tomorrow. If you have habits that are destructive or that keep you stuck, you need to replace them with habits that move you forward. Good habits are the key to long-term success. Whether it's exercising regularly, reading daily, journaling, or consistently working on your skills, small habits done over time create massive change. Start by focusing on one habit at a time, and once you've mastered it, move on to the next. Over time, these habits will compound, and you'll begin to see extraordinary results in your life. But mastering yourself also means accepting responsibility for your actions. It's easy to blame the world around you, your circumstances, or other people for where you are in life. But when you take full responsibility for your decisions and actions, you empower yourself to make the necessary changes. Responsibility is about understanding that you are the creator of your circumstances. While you can't always control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. You can control the decisions you make and the actions you take. By taking responsibility for your life, you gain the power to change your future. One of the most powerful ways to master yourself is by constantly challenging yourself to grow. Growth requires stepping out of your comfort zone and facing new challenges. If you're always doing what's easy, you'll never grow. But when you push yourself to learn new skills, take on bigger goals, and face your fears, you expand your capabilities and open the door to greater opportunities. Mastery is not about perfection. It's about continuous improvement. Every day you should be looking for ways to get better. Whether it's learning something new, improving your communication skills, or becoming more efficient in your work. Every step you take toward self-improvement is a step toward dominating your future. Self-mastery isn't a destination, it's a lifelong journey. The more you work on mastering yourself, the more control you'll have over your life. And the more control you have, the more you will be able to design the future you desire. When you master yourself, you become unstoppable. You will no longer be held back by your doubts, fears, or bad habits. You will take consistent action toward your goals, no matter what obstacles arise. You will be prepared for whatever life throws at you, because you've already built the internal strength, discipline, and mindset necessary to handle it. Number 6, destroy excuses and take real action now. Excuses are the enemy of progress. They are the things that keep us from achieving the life we truly want. We all have them. Those reasons we give ourselves to justify why we haven't yet achieved what we desire. But here's the truth. Excuses are nothing more than self-made barriers that stop us from moving forward. The moment you decide to stop making excuses is the moment you take control of your destiny. Let's be clear. No matter who you are, where you come from, or what challenges you've faced, you have the ability to take action. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not their circumstances. It's their ability to destroy excuses and take real action. It's about making the decision to move forward, even when everything around you tells you to stop. And let's be honest, if you don't take action, nothing will change. You can talk about your goals, dream about your future, but if you don't get up and do something, it's all just talk. We all know how easy it is to come up with an excuse. I'm too busy. I don't have enough time. I don't know where to start. These are just ways of avoiding the truth. The truth is that everyone has the same amount of time. The truth is that the most successful people don't wait for the perfect moment. They create the moment. They don't wait for everything to be aligned. They take action regardless of the circumstances. The first step in destroying excuses is to take responsibility for where you are in life. Your life is a direct reflection of the choices you've made. If you're not where you want to be, it's not because of external factors. It's because of the actions or inactions you've taken. Once you accept that, you realize that the power to change your circumstances lies within you. The only thing holding you back is the excuses you've allowed to take root in your mind. Think about the excuses you've made in the past. How many of them were valid? Probably none. Sure, there may have been challenges. There may have been tough times, but those aren't valid excuses. They're just obstacles to overcome. Everyone has obstacles, but successful people don't let them define their future. They let them shape their character. The first thing you need to do is stop feeding those excuses. Stop telling yourself why you can't, and start telling yourself why you can. When you start to believe that there is no reason you can't take action, you begin to shift your mindset. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment you start to take real, meaningful action. Taking action is what separates the dreamers from the doers. But taking action isn't always easy. It's uncomfortable. It requires effort, sacrifice, and commitment. But when you take that first step, something amazing happens. You build momentum. You prove to yourself that you can take action. And as you keep going, it becomes easier to continue. Here's the key. Action doesn't need to be perfect. Perfection is another form of procrastination. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to know exactly how everything will unfold. What you need is the courage to start and the determination to keep going. Small actions lead to big results. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing something, anything. Every action you take is a step forward. Another thing to consider is that when you take real action, you set yourself apart from everyone else who is waiting for the right time or making excuses. You begin to build momentum that others don't have. Every time you take action, you build a little more confidence, and that confidence compounds. Over time, you'll see just how much you're capable of accomplishing. But the key is to keep moving, even when it gets tough. The road to success is never a straight line. There will be setbacks, failures, and difficult times. But that's part of the process. When you take action in spite of those challenges, you're training yourself to be resilient. You're proving to yourself that nothing can stop you if you refuse to let excuses hold you back. It's time to stop letting fear or doubt keep you stuck in the same place. Every time you make an excuse, you're choosing to stay in the past. Every time you decide to take action, you're choosing to move toward your future. Action brings clarity. Action brings progress. Action brings results. And those results will lead to even more action. The cycle becomes self-reinforcing. The more you act, the more you achieve. And the more you achieve, the more you're motivated to keep going. Now, I want you to think about what's holding you back right now. What's the excuse you've been telling yourself? Maybe it's, I don't have enough time, or I'm not good enough. Maybe it's fear of failure. Or maybe you feel like the odds are stacked against you. Whatever the excuse is, I want you to challenge it right now. Break it down and see it for what it really is. a barrier you've created in your own mind. Once you do that, you'll realize that there's nothing stopping you from taking the first step toward your goals. But action isn't just about doing something. It's about doing something with intention. Real action is purposeful and focused. It's not about being busy. It's about being productive. It's about focusing on the things that truly matter and moving toward your goals every single day. You can't waste time on things that don't contribute to your success. Time is the one resource you can never get back, and you can't afford to let excuses rob you of it. So today, destroy your excuses. Right now, in this moment, make a decision to take real action toward your dreams. It doesn't matter if you don't know all the steps. Take the first one anyway. Start where you are with what you have, and keep moving. With every action you take, you are one step closer to the life you've always wanted. The time for excuses is over. The time for action is now. Number 7. Break your limits with hard work. There is no substitute for hard work. There are no shortcuts, no easy answers, no magic formulas. The truth is simple. If you want to break your limits and achieve something extraordinary, you have to put in the work. Hard work is the key that unlocks your potential and propels you forward toward the future you want. It doesn't matter where you start, what obstacles you face, or how many times you fail along the way. If you're willing to work harder than ever before, you will surpass your limits and achieve the greatness you're capable of. We all have limits. These limits are not set in stone. They're the product of our past experiences, our fears, and the beliefs we've built about what we're capable of. But here's the great truth. Limits are meant to be broken. The only thing holding you back from reaching your fullest potential is the belief that you can't go beyond where you are. When you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, when you challenge your own limits, you begin to expand the boundaries of what's possible for you. Hard work is the force that shatters those limits. It's not just about putting in hours or effort. It's about putting in relentless, focused effort with the goal of improvement in mind. Hard work requires discipline, consistency, and a willingness to give everything you've got day in and day out. It's about doing the things you don't want to do, especially when you don't feel like doing them. It's about choosing to stay focused on your goal even when the road is long, the journey is difficult, and the end seems far out of reach. One of the most important things you need to understand about hard work is that it's a process. Progress doesn't happen overnight, and you won't see immediate results from every hour you put in. However, every moment of hard work compounds. Every effort, no matter how small, is a step toward breaking your limits. Every sacrifice, every ounce of energy you put into your work builds the momentum needed to push past those limits. The more you work, the stronger you become. And as you continue to break your limits, you redefine what's possible for you. It's easy to look at others who seem to have achieved success effortlessly, but the truth is, behind every success story is a story of relentless work. The most successful people you know didn't just show up. They worked tirelessly to get to where they are. They didn't let setbacks stop them. They didn't let doubts or failures define their journey. They put in the work, no matter how challenging it was, because they understood that hard work is what breaks down the barriers holding them back. But hard work isn't just about effort. It's about working smart, too. You can't simply throw energy at something without direction and expect results. You need a clear purpose and a plan. Set specific goals, break them down into manageable steps, and then pour everything you have into making those steps a reality. Hard work is strategic, focused, and intentional. You work with purpose, not aimlessly. Hard work is also about consistency. It's easy to start something new with energy and excitement, but the real test comes when that excitement fades and the work becomes challenging. The most powerful part of hard work is showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. Consistency is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who give up halfway. It's the ability to keep pushing forward when the work gets tough, when progress is slow, and when you want to quit. The consistent effort you put in day after day is what leads to breakthroughs and progress. You will face challenges. You will experience failures. But hard work doesn't end when things get hard. It begins. The moment you encounter an obstacle, you have a choice. You can either let it stop you, or you can dig deeper and use that obstacle as fuel to push yourself harder. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow, to stretch beyond your limits. When you embrace challenges instead of avoiding them, you build resilience and strength. There will be times when you question whether your hard work is worth it, when you feel like you're not seeing the results you deserve, or when others seem to be succeeding faster than you. But here's the truth. Your hard work will pay off. It may not always show immediate results, but the effort you put in today will compound and lead to bigger opportunities tomorrow. You are building a foundation for success that will eventually carry you far beyond what you can see right now. The work you put in is never wasted. One of the keys to breaking your limits through hard work is developing a growth mindset. This means seeing challenges and setbacks as opportunities to learn and improve. When you have a growth mindset, you stop seeing failure as a final judgment of your abilities and start seeing it as feedback that helps you grow. Instead of getting discouraged, you use your mistakes to fuel your drive to work even harder. To truly break your limits, you need to push past the point of comfort. Growth doesn't happen when you stay in your safe zone. It happens when you stretch yourself, when you take on tasks that challenge you, and when you put in the effort to overcome the obstacles that are standing in your way. The more you challenge yourself, the more your limits begin to disappear. What once felt impossible becomes within your reach. Let's be clear, hard work isn't easy. If it was, everyone would do it. But it's the effort you put in during the difficult times that determines your success. Every time you decide to work hard, even when you're tired, frustrated, or feeling defeated, you are setting yourself up for a breakthrough. Hard work builds strength, character, and perseverance. It transforms you into someone who can handle challenges, overcome obstacles, and achieve what others may see as impossible. The key to breaking your limits with hard work is to never stop. No matter where you are, no matter how far you have to go, keep putting in the work. Hard work compounds over time, and the results will eventually speak for themselves. You will look back and realize that the limits you once thought were unbreakable are now behind you. And you'll know that the reason you broke those limits wasn't because of luck. It was because of the relentless effort you put in day after day to achieve your goals. Number 8, face your fears without hesitation. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that hold people back. It's the invisible barrier that keeps us from stepping into our true potential. But here's the reality. Fear is not something to avoid or run away from. It's something to face head on with courage and determination. Fear isn't the enemy. It's a signal that you're about to do something that challenges you, that pushes you beyond your comfort zone. And when you face it without hesitation, that's when growth happens. That's when your life changes. Fear will always be a part of your journey. It doesn't matter how successful you become or how many times you've faced difficult situations. Fear will always show up. It's part of being human. But what separates those who succeed from those who don't is how they respond to fear. Do you let fear control you, or do you take control of it? The choice is yours. And the sooner you understand that fear is not a sign to stop, but rather a sign to move forward, the sooner you'll break free from its grip. Facing your fears doesn't mean being fearless. It means being willing to act despite the fear. It means choosing to do what you need to do even when your mind is screaming at you to turn back. Fear thrives in hesitation. The longer you wait, the more power it has over you. The moment you hesitate, you give fear the upper hand. You start second-guessing yourself, and you begin to doubt your abilities. But when you face your fear without hesitation, you take away its power. You stand firm, and you take the first step. Think about a time when you were afraid to take action. Maybe it was starting something new, taking on a big project, or making a difficult decision. At that moment, fear seemed overwhelming. But what happened when you took action anyway? You likely found that the fear wasn't as strong as you thought. It was uncomfortable. Yes, it may have been challenging, but when you faced it head on, you realized that you were capable of more than you initially believed. One of the most significant reasons people fail to reach their goals is because they allow fear to stop them. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection. These fears can paralyze you. But if you let them, you'll never take the steps needed to achieve your goals. You'll stay stuck in the same place, never moving forward. But when you face your fear, you show yourself that you're stronger than the thoughts that are holding you back. You prove to yourself that you have the power to push through discomfort and uncertainty. You have to understand that fear isn't something to be ashamed of. It's a natural response to change. Fear exists because we're stepping into the unknown. And the unknown is always scary. But what you need to realize is that the unknown is where the magic happens. The unknown is where your growth lies. Every time you face your fears, you step into new territory. You take a leap into something bigger, something greater. And with every step, your fears lose their power. The more you face them, the smaller they become. Facing your fears without hesitation requires a mindset shift. You need to change the way you view fear. Instead of seeing it as something to avoid, start seeing it as a sign that you're on the right path. Fear only shows up when you're about to do something significant. The bigger the fear, the bigger the opportunity. The more resistance you feel, the greater the potential for growth. You can't let that resistance stop you. You have to embrace it, move through it, and come out on the other side stronger. Every fear you face is an opportunity to build resilience. It's an opportunity to prove to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. The more you face fear, the more confident you become in your ability to navigate difficult situations. You start to realize that fear doesn't control you. You control it. You choose whether or not to take action. And when you choose to act despite the fear, you build your strength. Fear becomes just another obstacle you can overcome. You're going to feel fear when you start something new. You're going to feel fear when you face challenges and try to push beyond your current limits. But that fear is not a sign that you should stop. It's a sign that you're moving in the right direction. The more you avoid fear, the more it controls you. But when you face it, you take away its power. You take back control of your life and your choices. Don't let fear keep you in your comfort zone. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. It's where nothing changes, where nothing grows. The only way to break free from the comfort zone is to face your fears without hesitation and step into the unknown. The unknown is where you'll discover new strengths, new abilities, and new opportunities you never knew existed. It's where your true potential is waiting for you to uncover it. Fear is not a sign to stop. It's a signal to go. It's an invitation to grow. So the next time fear shows up, don't back down. Face it. Walk toward it, not away from it. Don't hesitate. Take the first step. Even if you're scared, it's in that first step that everything begins to change. Once you start moving, you'll realize that the fear you thought was holding you back was never as powerful as you thought. Number 9, stop complaining and start fixing. Complaining has become a habit for many people. It's easy to do. It's comfortable. It gives us a momentary release from frustration or dissatisfaction. But complaining doesn't change anything. It doesn't solve problems. It doesn't move you forward. The truth is, complaining keeps you stuck in the same place, focused on what's wrong, without ever taking action to fix it. If you want to change your life, if you want to break through your limitations, it's time to stop complaining and start fixing. Complaints are the enemy of progress. Every time you complain, you're spending energy on something that doesn't help you grow. You're focusing on the negative, replaying the same frustrations over and over again in your mind. You might think that by complaining, you're venting your feelings or gaining sympathy from others. But all you're really doing is reinforcing the belief that things are beyond your control. Complaining keeps you stuck in a mindset of helplessness, and nothing productive can come from that. When you complain, you're not solving the problem. You're just talking about it. Talking about a problem without doing anything about it is like staring at a broken wheel and hoping it will fix itself. It's a waste of time. Every moment you spend complaining is a moment you're not using to find a solution, to take action, or to make a change. Instead of venting about what's wrong, ask yourself, what can I do about it? What steps can I take to make things better? That's where the power lies, in finding solutions and taking steps toward improvement. You may be facing challenges right now, and that's okay. We all do. But complaining about those challenges won't make them go away. It won't give you the strength to overcome them. It won't bring you closer to the solutions you need. When you focus on the problem, you give it more power. But when you focus on finding the solution, you take back control. You shift your energy from the negative to the positive, from helplessness to action. And that's where true change happens. The key to moving forward in life is taking responsibility. Responsibility means acknowledging that you have the power to change your situation. Complaining is an escape from responsibility. It's a way to shift the blame and avoid doing the work necessary to fix what's wrong. But when you stop complaining and start taking responsibility, you start seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. You begin to recognize the areas where you can make a difference, and you start taking steps to improve. It's important to understand that challenges are a part of life. No one is exempt from them. Everyone faces difficulties at some point. But the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is how they handle those challenges. People who succeed don't spend their time complaining about how hard things are. Instead, they focus on what they can do to improve the situation. They shift their mindset from a victim mentality to one of empowerment. They understand that they control how they respond to adversity. When you stop complaining and start fixing, you stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start taking charge of your life. You stop feeling helpless and start feeling powerful. You stop waiting for things to change on their own and start making changes yourself. Every small step you take toward fixing the problem gives you more control over your future. And every time you take action instead of complaining, you get closer to the solution. You might be thinking, but my situation is different. This problem is too big for me to fix. The truth is, no problem is too big to be fixed. As long as you're willing to do the work, it's easy to think that your circumstances are beyond your control. But that's just an illusion. Yes, there will be challenges that seem overwhelming. Yes, there will be obstacles that make the journey difficult. But that doesn't mean you can't overcome them. It just means you have to get to work. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who avoid problems. They're the ones who face them head on and take action to fix them. They don't waste time complaining about what went wrong. They don't sit around feeling sorry for themselves. They get to work on finding solutions. And that's what you need to do too. When you focus on the solution instead of the problem, you open yourself up to endless possibilities. You stop feeling trapped by your circumstances and start taking control of your future. If you want to create real change in your life, it's time to take action. Stop waiting for someone else to fix your problems. Stop hoping that things will get better on their own. The truth is, nothing will change unless you decide to make it happen. Stop complaining about how difficult life is and start asking yourself, what can I do to make it better? That question will shift your perspective and ignite the fire within you to take action. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is the habit of looking for solutions instead of focusing on the problem. When something goes wrong, don't waste time talking about how bad it is. Instead, ask yourself, how can I fix this? What can I do right now to make things better? This shift in mindset will transform the way you approach every challenge in your life. It will turn obstacles into opportunities and difficulties into lessons. And it will give you the power to take control of your future. Number 10, do something productive every hour. Time is one of the most valuable resources you have. Yet it's also one of the easiest to waste. Every hour that passes is an hour you'll never get back. It's a fleeting moment that slips through your fingers. The question you have to ask yourself is, how are you using that time? Are you letting it slip by unnoticed? Or are you using every hour to move closer to your goals? If you want to change your life, if you want to see real progress, you need to start making every hour count. You need to commit to doing something productive every single hour of the day. Most people go through life with an illusion of time. They think they have more of it than they really do. They waste hours here and there, telling themselves they'll catch up later, but they'll work harder tomorrow. But here's the truth. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed. The only time you can control is now. And if you're not using your time wisely today, you're wasting your future. Every hour counts. Every minute you spend being unproductive is a minute you can't get back. So make the decision now to do something productive every hour. What does being productive mean? It doesn't just mean checking things off a to-do list. It means using your time intentionally to move closer to the person you want to be and the goals you want to achieve. It means doing things that will bring you closer to your vision of success. Whether that's working on a project, learning something new, building new skills, or improving yourself. Every hour needs to be purposeful. Productive doesn't always mean busy. It means focused. It's about using your time wisely, not just filling it with activity. We all know what it's like to feel like we're not making progress. We all have those days where we look back and wonder where the time went. But that doesn't have to be the reality. When you commit to doing something productive every hour, you change the way you approach your day. You start to see each hour as an opportunity to improve, to grow, to get closer to your goals. Every hour becomes a building block for success. And when you consistently use your time productively, you start to see real results. Let's be clear, this doesn't mean you have to be working non-stop 24/7. It's not about overworking or burning yourself out. It's about making the most of the hours you have. If you can carve out even 1 hour a day to focus solely on something that moves you forward, whether that's learning, practicing, planning, or creating, you're making progress. Over time, these small, consistent actions add up. you'll look back and realize that all those productive hours have led to significant change. Time is a precious commodity. You might think you have endless amounts of it, but the truth is, you don't. You don't have unlimited hours to waste. The earlier you understand this, the sooner you can start using your time in a way that brings results. If you want to get ahead, if you want to achieve more, you need to stop wasting time and start using every hour with intention. It's the small, consistent actions that lead to big results. The best way to make every hour count is to plan your day. Start by deciding what you want to achieve in the next 24 hours. Break it down into manageable tasks, and then make sure that every hour of your day is dedicated to something productive. Whether that's a block of time for focused work, a period for learning, or even time to recharge, make sure that every hour is accounted for. Having a plan helps you avoid distractions and ensures that you're always moving forward. You might be thinking, but there are things that need to be done that aren't productive, like errands, chores, or other tasks that seem less important. That's true, but even the smallest tasks can be productive if you do them with intention. If you approach everything you do as an opportunity to learn or improve, you'll find value in even the simplest tasks. Every task, no matter how small, can contribute to your growth if you do it with purpose. Another important aspect of productivity is the power of consistency. It's not just about having one great day of productivity. It's about making productivity a habit. When you commit to doing something productive every hour, it becomes a routine. It becomes part of your day, part of your life. And over time, those small, consistent efforts will compound. You'll start to see how much you've accomplished and how much closer you are to reaching your goals. Consistency is the key to turning productivity into progress. Sometimes the hardest part is just starting. It's easy to get overwhelmed by everything you need to do. But when you break your tasks down into manageable pieces and focus on 1 hour at a time, it becomes much easier. Instead of thinking about how much you have to do, focus on what you can do in the next hour. When you do this, you create a sense of momentum. The more you accomplish, the more motivated you become to keep going. The key is to take that first step. Once you're moving, it's easier to keep going. Being productive every hour doesn't mean you have to be constantly busy or working yourself into exhaustion. It means using your time wisely, making deliberate decisions about how you spend each moment. Whether it's taking action toward your goals, learning something new, or improving yourself in some way, every hour can be an opportunity to grow. And when you make that a habit, you'll see massive transformation over time.